Hi, this is DL, and this is episode 15 of Awareness of Thinking. So I usually put out videos every Friday, and I didn't have one prepared for this week. I tried. The topic that I wanted to talk about was our certainty. I've got stuff written down as I usually do, but it wasn't really leading me anywhere. Wasn't leading me anywhere certain. But I still want to share something with you this weekend, so I'm going to just go for it. So one of the things I was feeling was just being so fed up with the people who are running the world, and just seeing them as so small-minded, small-hearted, weak-willed, and embarrassing to us all. You know, there's definitely this superiority complex among those who do lead, and they seem to think that their way of thinking is perceiving reality as it is. But the way I see it is that when one way of thinking monopolizes every aspect of civilization, that way tends to lead to a myopia-caused extinction. And, in some ways, I think we are headed there. Do we really want those who, A, either think that they alone are God, or B, those who don't know who the hell they are, really, or C, those who fail to see who others really are? Do we want any of those groups in charge of anything? And I certainly don't. So, anyway, I wanted to talk about certainty, and that we're living in a time of so many people being absolutely certain about everything. And the problem is that they are absolutely certain, but they're wrong a lot of the time. Really, when we consider certainty and whether something is 100% certain, well, so little is when we really look. So we're living in this time of being certain and wrong, but only when we try to push our certainty off on others, as their truth. We can have our own. We have to. We have to be able to make meaning for ourselves to an extent. Black and white thinkers are going to be bound for madness, pure and simple. What can we truly be certain of? As I've said, if we're honest, not much. None of it really matters, though. In this world, it can all be true, it can all be false, it can even be both at the same time. There is natural law, of course. This is the natural law of relativity. Everybody's going to perceive differently. And certain groups may come together in thought, but other groups are not going to agree with that thought. And this has been a problem throughout all of humanity, and our inability to just let live those who are different from ourselves. So some say we are in a meaning crisis. If we are, I tend to think it is really because that the feminine has been relegated to the basement. And the reason why I think this, I was listening to some very intellectual men who were discussing the topic of meaning. And I love them, don't get me wrong, their conversation was interesting, fascinating even. But it was all here. And even when they referred to the heart, it was still here, It's all this slicing and dicing and trying to figure things out. And I think this is the mistake that for too many ages has been happening. Men believing that their ability to reason is superior instead of just different to women. There's only one ultimate meaning, and that is love. Truth has zero to do with the intellect. This is another reason why I found it so kind of cute and endearing when intellectual men talk about, the meaning of life. It's really much more simple than we make it. And it doesn't need to be so convoluted and complicated. And, when I talk about love, there are so many different forms, and I'm talking about the highest form. I'm talking about loving and respecting self, loving and respecting others, loving and respecting what you do, loving and respecting life. Sri Nisargadatta wrote, or said, and somebody wrote for him, words can bring you only up to their own limit. To go beyond, you must abandon them. Abandon false ideas. There's no need for true ideas. There aren't any. The ultimate point of view is that there is nothing to understand. So when we try to understand, we are only indulging in acrobatics of the mind. Whatever you have understood, you are not. Why are you getting lost in concepts? You are not what you know. You are the knower. Great quote. So what as the knower do we truly know? If we listen to Nisargadatta, there's nothing that we need to know. Byron Katie's The Work uses this question to help free the investigator of his or her suffering around any topic. Can you absolutely know that something is true? 100% true. For all time. And true for all. It seems to me the only thing that we can really be certain of when identified with our bodies and our egoic minds is our uncertainty. Only when we can fully realize ourselves, as Nisargadatta said, the knower, can we truly be certain, but not in the way we think, not certain of something, but rather as the embodiment of certainty. There's no room for the I in that. So that's all I've got today. Thanks for listening. If you enjoy this channel, please do like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and also leave your comments. I'd love to hear from you, and share this video with someone you know who might benefit. Take care. See you next time.